No one is above the law. You hear this expression from time to time, but these days you're hearing it repeatedly over and over again. Why? Well, because they're trying to persecute President Trump, and that's the reason they cite, because of the fact that he, like anyone else, shouldn't be above the law. But is that really the world we live in? Well, let's unpack that for a minute. Let's use our example of the True North Strong and Free Canada. Now, I reported a few days ago that $2.1 billion worth of COVID vaccines had to be destroyed. Vaccines that you and I as taxpayers paid for and some government officials ordered. In fact, the Liberal Party promoted this. But so far, I haven't seen any heads roll. I haven't seen mass resignations. It would appear to me that when they screw up, they're above the law. I also reported a while ago of the fact that during the COVID pandemic, we had CERB, the programs to assist people, all these different things. We had business loans that temporary assistance that businesses could get. And as it turns out, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars were submitted in fraudulent claims that no one seemed to have vetted and nobody really followed through on. Money that apparently we've been told we're never going to recover. How come no heads have rolled there? How come nobody's resigned there? It would appear that they're above the law. Now, our Canadian justice system, well, like any justice system, it's not perfect, but when a judge gets something wrong, for example, sends an innocent person to prison or charges them or gives them a sentence, what happens then? Do judges get fired? Do they lose their jobs? I haven't heard of any in Canada happening. Have you? What about when judges actually let someone go who should have been charged and that person goes on to commit a heinous crime? I don't see any judges acknowledging responsibility or stepping down in that situation. No, they seem to be above the law. Well, let's take our mainstream corporate media. Over the last few years, we were told a lot of different things related to a virus that we had circulating. And as it turns out, most of that stuff turned out not to be accurate or true at all. In fact, a lot of it seemed to have been disproven. Theories or things that they purported were fact turned out to be nothing more than fiction. Well, they seem to be above the law. The CBC still exists. They're still getting their funding in spite of all the reports that they cited or put out there. So it appears they're above the law. Now, the reason I'm sharing this is because, yes, it's a very novel theory. It sounds very good in principle. But the reality is that the people who scream this the loudest seem to enjoy immunity from the law as much. These politicians in the U.S. who are lamenting Trump, for example, seem to be all above the law. For example, in the U.S., Congress people seem to get insider information for stocks and all kinds of different things, and nobody seems to get charged with anything. They seem to be above the law. So there's a lot of these examples. There's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to that. If there's anything we can say about the law, it appears there's certainly a double standard. One for the elites and one for the rest of us who have to live based on what the law is. And the people who are in charge, the elites, decide what laws and what laws not to apply to themselves and on a whim or a fancy. Anyway, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Please post any comments you have in the comment section. You can also follow me on my Rumble and my Locals account. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. You can also follow me on my Twitter at Camera612, and I'll see you next time.